Hey guys, welcome to today's 1/6 Galaxies video. Today we are taking a look at the newly released Scum and Villainy Fortuna from Sideshow Collectibles. I will show a comparison between the 2006/7 version and this once we finish. And we will talk about the differences as well as some other things. Alrighty, so it is that new style box that Sideshow have been using to pretty much match Hot Toys. So it's the shoe style box. We have an image of the actual figure there. Bib Fortuna, Scum and Villainy 6 scale, and then the sides of the box are just going to continue that on. But the back of the box has this really nice blurb. I will leave that there in frame in case you guys want to pause and read it. And then we have an advertisement for the rest of the line. Now, just prior to me filming this, they put Woof up for pre-order. That's this guy here on the end. We've had the pre-order for, I think it's Kithaba, for a while now. And if you missed it, Peggy Rook, or the Wike, was just released from Sideshow this past week. So they pretty much put Rook out and then put the pre-order for Woof up. No news on when Kithaba will release. And if you remember, back when the line first announced, they did like the Halloween pre-order shit thing, and they made Libria the exclusive. Last Halloween they did the exact same thing with Kithaba here. So if you are planning on getting the whole line, this guy is an exclusive. I missed out on the Sideshow. He is available for waitlist, but I got him through, or I'm ordering him through OSK, because that's where I got my Libria from. And as always, Kit was awesome in delivering that figure. Anyway, that's probably about it for that type of information. Let's look at the figure itself. Okay, so first thing we're going to touch on is these hands. These gesturing hands are the only accessory you get in the box. We will look at them shortly, but you get two relaxed hands that are on the figure when you open him, and these hands. The other thing we get is of course the standard Sideshow base that they've been using for a while now, and then flipped over the bottom it tells us that it's Star Wars. Doesn't have end the year. So that is that. So he is quite a basic offering for the price point. Now, the retail price on this guy was quite high. I want to say it was about $4.99 Australian. I think I paid $4.20 or maybe $4.05. I just can't remember. It was somewhere between $4.05 and $4.20. Definitely no more than $4.20. So I suppose you can kind of say roughly the same price as a Hot Toys clone. You can see that the paint is actually pretty good, and body-wise, he's actually pretty stiff. He does struggle to stand without the base though, so I'm trying very, very careful not to knock him over right now. But you can see he's got the blue sash there coming down. You can see that he's got that blue undersuit. He's got the blue continuing there. He does have pointed shoes. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, articulation wise, his arms and stuff are quite stiff. Mine has a slightly loose leg, but so he's not as stiff as what Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan was, or even Gorindan. But he is a lot sturdier than older Sideshow figures, which is really, really nice. Alrighty, taking a closer look, yeah, you can see that he does have this armored piece here, and the blue does continue underneath. Like I said, there's that wrap coming down, comes all the way down, and then of course, if we move it out of the way, you can see that he is still wearing the blue pants, and he does have the pointed formal shoes. It is, this is like a felty type of material. It does feel quite soft and nice. And yeah, you can see that the paint application is pretty decent. So you can see that he's got his armored cuffs there, and then we have these hands. So you can see that for the most part, they are pretty detailed. And he does have the long nails. And we know he's got long, sharp nails because he scratches R2. So like I said, the gesturing hands, if you don't want the relaxed look, the gesturing hands is all you really have to work with. Which is a little bit of a shame because the original version had the Kenner staff as the exclusive, I think it was, a knife, an extra frog that you could give the jabber at the time, and the two hands. So there was a little bit more on offer for a lot less, given the fact that in 2007 these things were probably about 100 to 120 in the store, and that's Australian. Compared to, like I said, even at a discount, this guy was just over $400. So there's that. Rotating the figure around, again, you can see that the paint application is nice and continues. And then his cape at the back is sort of pleated. And you can see that so those layers, pleats there are quite nice. This is a different material. The inside is probably more of like a cotton, and it's got like a felty outside. So you're not 100% sure on what type of material they used, but you can see it looks the part. Alrighty, so let's see how they compare. Straight away, as you can see, the new one is just straight up better. Proportions, paint app, as you'd expect. We're looking at a 2025/2026 figure versus a 2006/2007 figure. Now, the old 2007 figures from Sideshow were very hard to stand without display stand. Given the fact that this guy's head adds a fair bit of top heaviness to him, I don't think you have a chance of getting him to stand without a stand. This isn't the one that came with him. I'm just using it as a stand-in at the moment. But you will notice the new one is also taller. So that's good because Bib Fortuna, he's not a short guy. So making him taller definitely fits the bill. This here is it's a thick felt material, as opposed to the thin material used here. As said, it's like a cotton on the inside and a light felt on the outside, but this is just thick. And you can see as well that the wrap isn't done as nicely. It's just been tied around, and then you can see that the armor just looks slightly better on the new one as well. Completely different material for the skirt. So like I said, this is like a soft felty material. This is just cotton. We do get, like I said, we do get the pointing finger, so the application on the hands is still quite nice. But like I said, you only get the gesturing and the relaxed hands with this guy, where with the original you got the hand for holding, he also gave a cup, a hand for holding the cup, as well as the frog that he can give jabber, etc. Like I said, this is just thick, and then we still have it layered, and there's a slight color difference between the front and back of the robe that we don't have on the new one. So overall, it depends on just how much you want that paint upgrade, and the overall just niceness looking on the figure. As I said, you can definitely futz with the old Sideshow one to make it look a bit better than I've got it at the moment. You can drape the cape over his shoulder a bit better, etc. But yeah, you are going to be restricted to the waist grabber, because that's the only stand that they offered back then. Also keeping in mind that the new one is taller. He will stand without the stand, but it is a bit hard. Again, the head just makes it that much top heavy. So yeah, it just depends on whether the paint upgrade and stuff is worth you paying 400 Australian upwards for this guy. He is actually waitlisted on Sideshow, so whatever Pop Culture have left is probably all they're going to get, unless Sideshow decide to do a second run of this guy. But it could be, but they knew because he was so light on accessories, only the real completists were probably going to grab him. And I mean, why wouldn't you? If you had a Jabba, you're going to need Fortuna. So it just depends on whether you want the old one or the new one. Old one's obviously going to be a lot cheaper, but the new one just, obviously, like I said, just looks better. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I hope the comparison has helped you.